that this is working, but as of right now, it looks like we are hopefully working for the time being on YouTube. It's been a week full of gremlins and all sorts of other problems out there, so I don't know about you, but I'm very glad to see Friday get here because it has been a week and a half, and I'm ready to see the end of it for right now. All right, this is Weather Overtime. It's Friday, blah, blah, blah. It's all taken care of for right now, I think. So for the time being, if you have any plans for outdoors this weekend, you should go ahead and keep them because I think we're going to be looking pretty good overall, but we are going to see, again, the potential for some more problems out across the area. In certain fashion, we're going to be looking at the potential of some more problems coming up next week with some chances of rainfall. Doesn't look like much at this time, but it is going to be possible. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a little bit. Plus, we'll also talk about what could be the potential of another cool down coming our direction. It doesn't look great for right now. The odds are, for the time being, it's still about a week or so away if we see anything whatsoever, but we'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. In the meantime, again, it could be a bit of a problem coming on through with plants outdoors again. So if you have any plants that are already out because it's naturally springtime, we could be looking again at the potential of some problems coming up, but we'll talk more about that here in just a little while. All right, so for the high today, 68, 73, the normal, 89, last setback in 1887. That's almost about as long as we've been keeping records around here. 29, the record low temperature, and that was set 102 years later in 1989. No rainfall today, and we managed to pick up a little bit this week. We could definitely use a little bit more of that if at all possible. Our weather window picture of the day, I was here about 2 years ago, somewhere in there in March. So I have to thank News 12 production department staffer Cooper Allen for a beautiful view from the top of the Revenge Run. That's in Copper Mountain, Colorado. Beautiful view of the Rockies out that direction. Love that area of the country. I was born just down the road, so nice to be able to see that going on. Again, thanks to everybody for some great pictures out there, and appreciate everybody sending them in for our Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. If you'd like to contribute, we'd love to see your pictures, and there's a different way for out there for almost anybody who wants to send stuff in. You can drop into the comments section of our Facebook, X, and Instagram pages. You can also email them to us as per usual, pictures@WDEF.com, or you can go to our brand new section of our website, WDEF.com/photos, where you can drop off your pictures and see what everybody else has been sending in. So a good opportunity to take a look there. And please send us your pictures. It doesn't matter if you're in Colorado, Tennessee, Maine, wherever you are, we'll take them as long as they're weather related. So just go ahead and send those in to us. We'd love to see more about what you're looking for out there. Outdoors tomorrow, looking good for Friday with plenty of sunshine. It will be breezy from time to time, but otherwise temperatures pretty much spot on normal tomorrow. We were way below normal for tonight, and again into the next day or two, we may be looking at some cooler conditions out there, but we'll wait and see just for what goes on through the weekend, if we have anything in the way of what is happening for chances of cool downs coming on through. We'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up here again in just a little bit. Looks like the Lookouts have finally finished their game for tonight, and yet again, not any good news for this evening. So, and I think we pretty much have missed the fireworks display. At least I don't see anything going on at this point, and it looks like they're already finished up for the evening. So, looks like that was a nice evening for some baseball in downtown Chattanooga. AT&T Field, looking back down that direction, and temperatures back in the lower 60s. Temperature and the dew point temperatures, if these numbers were a little bit closer, between the dew point is the temperature of the air saturated to where it can't hold any more moisture, and the humidity would be at 100%. Dry out there, very cool conditions, cool and dry. It's comfortable. It's a very nice evening, but if these numbers stay pretty far apart, the foliage, the trees, the weeds, the grass, stuff like that are going to have a pretty big problem with being able to stay out of wildfire danger. We may see the potential of some more wildfires coming up a little bit later on this week. It is possible. From what we can see right now, there's not much going on because we just got a pretty good soaking. The red dots that you see right about Bradley County and back over toward Middle Tennessee, those dots from the Visible Infrared Imaging Radiometer satellite, those look at the hot spots, the temperatures of where wildfires may be popping up. Now, there's only a handful here, but during the driest time frames, we can get some dozens, if not hundreds, of new wildfires popping up across portions of the area. And we might be heading for that again in the next few days if it stays about as dry as we think it is going to be. Time is just past 10 o'clock, and temperatures dropping already into the 40s in western North Carolina, back into extreme southeast Tennessee and north central portions of Georgia. Temperature not bad here. At the airport, we've got 61 degrees, but 50s and 40s elsewhere across much of the region for tonight. We did have a few echoes of showers out there. Those have mostly gone away, but what we did have was just a few showers passing through in the north central parts of the viewing area and all the way down into around North Carolina. But those are gone, and that's it for the rainfall. We're going to be seeing not much of anything else coming our direction anytime soon. We did have, again, some very nice conditions out there. This big area of low pressure, if it was just a couple hundred miles back to the east, this would be a good nor'easter storm. The structure is still there. Moisture coming in off the Atlantic, wrapping around some snow showers across the Great Lakes up into parts of Canada, Quebec, and back into around portions of the Canadian Great Lakes side of things, picking up some activity. We've got the winds coming in, the little breezier conditions here, but as we go into the next couple of days, what we are going to see is high pressure down here blocking off the Gulf of Mexico. That is going to do a good job of basically keeping us very high and dry. So we're going to see the potential of chances of very dry numbers out there. And I can't believe this just happened, but my entire weather graphics program has just crashed. So this may be a very short weather overtime for tonight. This is unfortunately what happens. While this is rebooting, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of other things that we can take a look at here. This one coming from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This is our weather question of the day, and it's all part of our polling system, which you can get to by going to our website at WDEF.com/vote now. If you'd like to participate in any of the polls, we have news, weather, and sports polling going on. And the question of the day, huge volumes of air on our planet with particular characteristics, otherwise known as air masses. They move in response to wind, wind and air pressure, or electromagnetic forces. And the winner, of course, for today was the correct answer. 60% of you said wind and air pressure. Electromagnetic force doesn't really have a lot to do with moving any air masses around. The Coriolis force and gravity, yeah, so that technically kind of sort of counts as an electromagnetic impulse in a way, but all the physicists out there will probably be yelling and shouting at me on stuff like that. But again, it's wind and air pressure. If you'd like to see the new poll, that'll be going up into this weekend, and all you have to do is go to our QR code here, or just go to our website, WDEF.com/vote now. Thanks to everybody who participated on that. All right, cross your fingers, and I think we will be back in business. I'm going to skip over the map because I think that was causing the situation to crash by just a little bit. So let's see if this is actually working. Okay, so far so good. That's good. Watching the high pressure down to the Gulf block things off and keep things decently quiet. And then we see, again, temperatures very pleasant for Saturday, a little on the cool side for Sunday. And then as we go into Sunday afternoon, that next system off the west coast of the United States moves through back to our north. It does not affect us. Maybe a few clouds if it gets close enough by early Monday morning, but that's going to be about it. And then early Monday afternoon, no problems at all for tax day. That warm front picking up some warmer air coming up from the Gulf of Mexico we should be looking at some fairly calm conditions out there. And then toward about Tuesday, things are also pretty dry as we go into the middle part of the month going on there. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting because according to the Climate Prediction Center that issues these forecasts, these medium range forecasts, you've got about 3 to 7 day forecasts, short range, you've got about 7 to 14, even around 21 days, medium range, and then you got longer range forecasts from about a month, 3 months, and up to a year from what they can put together on stuff like that. And that's available from the Climate Prediction Center. What we're seeing at this time is next week, we're going to be pretty much right down the middle. This gray area indicates just basically plain normal conditions. But then, as we go into next weekend, we start to see the potential of what looks to be a bit of a cool down coming our direction, and that is where things start to get a little bit more on the interesting side, because as of right now, again, we do not see any huge amounts of problems out there, but it is possible that we could be looking at the potential of some main problems into around the next couple of days. We could see again, and I'm trying to find the information here on social media because it did pop up earlier, and I'd like to show you that more than anything else. What we're going to be seeing is that potential for maybe, and I don't think they've got, nope, they do not have it here, so sorry about that. One more check. What we're looking for right now is the update in regards to the temperature display, and this gives you a generic idea as to what's happening for right now, but it does seem, again, to be the possibility of some possible predictions out there of some much cooler numbers out across the area, and that is where we're looking at the potential of, dare I say it, some more frost coming on through. Now, if that's the case, okay, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. This is what we're seeing for right now into about the, let's see, the 12th, about next weekend or so. That cold air makes its way southward. The outer light blue ring indicates a slight potential of frost, and notice that comes right on down to the News 12 viewing area there. A higher threat of frost into that dark hatched line from the Great Lakes down to just about the Tennessee-Kentucky line. That is where we may see the potential of some temperatures way below normal, and that could mean the potential of some frost yet again for the area. And this is going to be a pretty late one. We've already passed the average last, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the average last date of the last frost happens right about yesterday or today. So we're very, very close to that at this point. So now, will we get there? Well, that's going to be kind of a different answer. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But it's a very good possibility that we could be looking at some more colder conditions coming on through as we get into and around next week. Oh, the fireworks are going on at this point. Let me do a quick shift over here so we can see a little bit more about what's happening downtown Friday nights, and they usually have a good view. Come on now, let's see what this looks like. There we go. We have fireworks taking place at AT&T Field. Nice to be able to see a little bit of that going on down that direction. Let me see if I can zoom in by just a little bit. Beautiful evening for the fireworks down there. Again, we do not have anything in the way of rain out there, so we're getting pretty clear conditions in downtown. Very nice to be able to view that from our location here. Unfortunately, a couple of the buildings are kind of in the way, but a nice night nonetheless for a little bit of fireworks in downtown. Wish the Lookouts would have a better record at this time. I don't think that they've won a game yet, so they're starting off on kind of a not quite so good note out there, but good luck to the Lookouts for the first week of the season is over with. Doubleheader coming up tomorrow, as last night's game that got postponed will be pushed to early Saturday afternoon. So a good opportunity to see a little bit more about what's going on there if you'd like to catch some baseball in downtown Chattanooga coming up for later on. Good news again on that, at least for tonight anyway. Let's go ahead and go to the 7-day forecast. We'll keep the fireworks going in the background so we give you a nice view of what's happening there. 7-day forecast does hold a good possibility of some more showers Into next week, that's where we see again the potential of some showers and thunderstorms Tuesday night into Wednesday and Thursday again into Friday. Notice what goes on here because, again, we get some mild temperatures at first for the weekend and then mid 80s throughout the rest of next week, upper 80s possible by Thursday, and then the cold air really starts to arrive as we get temperatures nosediving from the mid to upper 80s to the mid to upper 60s. So this should be a pretty potent possibility of a cool down coming on through. Excuse me. Now, whether or not that means any frost out there, again, that's where we're going to have to wait and see. That's still pretty far into the future. It will definitely be cooler from what it looks like on these numbers. So keep it tuned to News 12. We'll let you know about that. Outdoors for the weekend, it's going to be a little breezy, but otherwise not looking at too much of a problem there. And for tax day, you won't have anything to worry about except buying your accountant lunch. And remember to carry the two before you send your tax documents in. Everything's taken care of there. I got mine done a little while ago, but still waiting on the refund. It's taking just a little bit. But in the meantime, looking good overall as we go throughout the weekend, early next week. And then does this mean severe weather? It's possible, but again, we're seeing a lot of severe weather back out toward the Plain States, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Could see some problems, south central United States basically. So we'll see what happens when this stuff arrives on our doorstep. But for right now, not really seeing too much of a major concern, so good news on that. We did a story tonight about that green fireball that was seen in the skies over New Jersey. If you have the ability to get out and take a look around, this is going to be kind of cool. The next big thing on the astronomy side of things is going to be the Lyra's meteor shower. That's coming up. It's already started. It goes a little bit further out from beginning to end, but the peak of it is going to be about a week and a half from now, give or take. This is not a big shower. We're expecting 20 meteors per hour, so there's not a lot. They tend to be very short-lived. There's not a lot of trails to these, so they don't streak across the sky and leave a pretty big amount of dust and gas that lights up in the sky. The good news is we'll be seeing some pretty clear skies out there. The bad news is that as we go from the new moon that just happened around the time of the solar eclipse, we're heading to just before the full moon. The full moon will be 96% full, and when you have a full moon out there, it's like staring into a headlight and trying to see a mosquito fly by on the periphery. It's very difficult to see that. So unfortunately, the moon will probably interfere with that. Love to have some better news on this, but we'll be watching to see. Maybe the forecast will change a little bit and we'll get a cloud or two to block out the moon, and then we can see more about what goes on around the area for that a little bit later. But in the meantime, things are looking, again, a little bit on the quieter side out there, decently mild. Hopefully the weather holds for next week. We'll see what goes on there, and we'll keep you updated on that through the rest of the weekend. Think that should pretty well do it. Again, apologies for the hiccups that we had just a little while ago. Taking a look downtown at the Tennessee Aquarium Secret Reef webcam, which is available on their website, downtown Chattanooga at tnaqua.org. If you'd like to take a look around and see what is going on. Like a lot of sharks and a lot of rays out there for tonight. Some heavy traffic in the Secret Reef for this evening. But a great place to visit if you haven't had a chance to get down and take a look. Taking a look at the outside view, this was a very soggy view from last night. Not too many folks out and about. Some drier conditions than what we saw about 24 hours ago, so looking good there. And also, again, some quiet conditions. I think they've probably folded up for the night, but let's take a look anyway at the Penguin Rock Cam. There used to be a lot of rocks now down in the bottom of the pool, piles of rocks all over the place, and the rocks have now been distributed to the penguins' nests, which is this time of the year for getting those nests organized and sorting out the pebbles and even stealing some of those pebbles from your neighbor. Neat little thing to be able to look at online, and you can go to, again, tnaqua.org to take a look and see more about that. I think that should do it, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Again, about 20 minutes into the segment for tonight, so again, everything decently quiet for now. We should be seeing, again, some pretty quiet numbers into the weekend. If you'd like an update on your forecast, meteorologist Todd Heislip will be here in the evenings coming up Saturday and Sunday, so stay tuned for more there. And of course, I'll have more on your forecast coming up into early next week, so stay tuned for more on that. Updates through the weekend, news, weather, sports, events, all kinds of stuff. Visit our website at WDEF.com, and of course, WDEF.com/weather at the bottom of your screen on Twitch and YouTube. And of course, you can contact me at Onek at WDEF.com if you'd like to see more or about what's happening, or drop me a line. If there's something you'd like to see us feature on here regularly, let us know. If there's something you don't want to see that much of, let us know. We can't do this without you. If you got a story tip, that's great. News stations run on what we get from you, the viewers. So if you got an idea for a story at some point, let us know. Give us, if you have an event of some sort, let us know as far in advance as possible so we can get it on our schedule out there, and that would be very nice for you to do that. But we do try to keep you up to date on as much as possible in regards to what is going on across portions of the area. It, again, is a good opportunity to practice good information about what's happening in and around the location of the Tennessee River Valley. We'd love to be able to give you an idea as to what's going on out there. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. I don't know if it's been posted tonight. The weather section out there, if you would like to have us in your classroom, we would love to be able to be there. Let me see if we have it posted for now. It's called, here we go, Weather in the Classroom. I don't think we've got everything up for tonight, but I did have a chance to go to Lookout Valley Elementary. Thank you very much, school counselor Hannah Malott. Very nice lady. Very nice to have the invitation to go out and talk there. And for Food City, our sponsor, this is the Weather in the Classroom page available at WDEF.com. All you have to do to get us in your classroom, fill out the page to get one of our weather experts there. Give us as much information as you can, the grade level, the class size, if there's any special topics you'd like us to talk about, anything like that. Please let us know, and we, depending on our schedule, will be able to come out and visit your classroom to let your kids know a little bit more about what's going on with the weather situation. All right, that's it. It's Friday night, the 12th of April. I'm going to go ahead and close things up for tonight. Thanks for stopping by on Twitch and YouTube. Keep it tuned to News 12 throughout the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you again next week. Live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Again, this is Weather Overtime for Friday the 12th. Have a good weekend. Let's be careful out there, and I'll see you again on Weather Overtime coming up on Monday.